Hey guys, it's Liv here, and today I just wanted to do a little video about journaling. So I think that journaling is such a great way to de-stress and just get your thoughts on paper, and I wanted to share with you my methods of journaling, what I do on a day-to-day basis, and how I journal, what I journal about, and just show you my journal collection. As you can see, I'm all made up because I just filmed a short. I don't know, I've been having a lot of fun just trying out different sorts of content creating, and to be honest, I do like long form videos more, but we all know that if you want to blow up, then shorts are the way to go. I'm not saying that I really care about being a famous YouTuber or whatever, but I just wanted to try it out, so that's why I am all done. Today's been kind of an uneventful day, not a lot of vlogging opportunity because we haven't gone to our daily Edward Gardens walk. My mom's been feeling kind of under the weather, so I've just been at home, and I thought maybe it'd be nice to just do a sit down video where I just talk about what I do on a daily basis, which is journaling. So I have 3 journals. I have 2 from Indigo that are leather bound. These are really nice, but also kind of expensive. And I have this 1 line a day journal that my best friend Erica got me last year for my birthday. And the really old journal that I had since I started journaling is this Muji notebook. So this was a very old journal from 2023. That's when I started my journaling journey. I personally try to journal every day, even if I don't have much to say. And honestly, I've been consistent for around 3 years now, actually. Even if I don't do it every day, single day, at least once a week or twice a week, sometimes when I get busy. But my goal is to do it every day because it's so easy to forget what you've done. And do you realize that if you don't write it down, then the days just kind of pass and you really don't remember what you did. And you just don't even know who you are if you don't write it down and reflect and think about yourself. It's just a great way to de-stress and really put all the scattered thoughts on paper. And I think that journaling is the best method for keeping my mental health sane. So this is a little bit of a private story, but I'll share it anyway for the sake of this video. So I was going to my mom's therapist appointment with her, and they were asking oh, do you do anything for yourself, to express yourself? Do you write? And she's like, yeah, of course I write. I write in my WeChat moments. So she likes to write about her day and sharing hope and positivity and just inspiring people. But my therapist was like, no, do you write everything you feel? She's like, no. And they said you should do that because it will help you really just dump everything, the positive, the negative. And I think that writing in a journal is such a safe space to process your thoughts, and it's something everyone should do. And I guess the main problem that people have is not knowing what to journal about. So where do you even start? Well, I just like to start with what I did. And from there, I think the thoughts just keep flowing, reflecting on what I did, how I feel about the people I had conversations with. And maybe it's easier to just show and explain than try to explain what I write about. So here is a journal entry I wrote on May 9th, 2024. Now, I don't even remember what I wrote this day, so it's gonna be really fresh to me. And I love it because it's I'm reliving the past, and I know a lot of people just like living in the present moment and moving forward. But personally, I think that remembering your past is just so important and so overlooked. And what makes us us is our past experiences, right? So that's why it's important to document everything. So I'm just gonna read a journal entry from March 6th of last year, 2024. I have spent the past 6 days voraciously reading The Brothers Karamazov. I finally finished it tonight, and I am exhausted to say the least. I want to write a review on the novel and make an in-depth analysis of the themes, but I'll have to refer to online sources to get the full picture. It was really dense and hard to read at times, but it is simply a masterpiece, and there is so much to think about. Questions I have: why was Dmitri still considered guilty? Is Dmitri an atheist? What is his stance on religion? Why are the schoolboys important? And what can we learn from this tale? What is the most important lessons? All these questions will be answered in my review. I haven't written for so long, but last night I had a dream about doing a blog review again. Maybe that dream was presentiment to writing reviews again. So I always write as if no one's gonna read my journal, because I feel like if you have an audience you're writing for, then you can't write as freely, but that really defeats the whole point of journaling. And a method I like to use for journaling is just start off with what I did during the day. Then I spiral into like what that event meant to me. And then I end off with what I want to do in the future. So it's kind of like past, interpret, future. And like, I'm not consciously doing this when I'm writing, but I realize that a lot of my entries follow the same format, and maybe that's just the way my brain flows. I'll read something else for fun, and maybe I won't like redact too many things from this one, so it'll be more fun to share. Okay, this was when I was still in school, and this was from January 19, 2024. Today I've had the first East Asian Studies tutorial, and I embarrassed myself again. We were answering the question of what two quotes on modernity meant, and I answered it, but at the end I said, but I'm not sure. I should be more confident in my answers. I was actually pretty proud of myself for answering though, and asking a question at the end of tutorial. I'm going to try to speak up once, just once every tutorial. My weight went down a bit, even though I did eat out yesterday. I don't have much to do because school hasn't ramped up yet, but I still don't feel like going out too much and getting dinner because I'm still trying to lose weight. I might go do some cardio after dinner tonight. I also got the first order for, I used to do an Etsy shop, so I was doing like K-pop crafts for Wonyoung photo cards. I need to go do some reading as well tonight. I'm getting tired of having lunch options. I just want a few dumplings today. Oh my god, I can't even read my own writing. I have like Dr. Scroll. This is kind of hard to read. Even I can't read it, so I kind of have to decipher my own writing. That's kind of annoying, but anyway. Personally, I'm not the kind of person to have like a set routine every day. I just think it's too restricting for my personality type, so I can't tell anyone to like journal in the morning, do morning pages, because I know that's a thing. Like morning pages is something where you like write 3 pages of just anything in the morning, and I can't do that. Like I have such a flexible routine personality that like I do it whenever I feel like doing it, but I always try to do it. So as long as you're writing every day, then that's all that matters. So don't stress too much about like when you do it. Just make sure you do it. It's kind of like doing your homework, you know. So this is something else I like to do. It's to write 1 line a day, because I think this is like a great way to snapshot your days. And this is September 2nd of last year, and I said, placed one last bet and went back on myself. Ooh, I probably shouldn't reveal that on camera, but anyway. Not sure if I'm seeing blank today. Otherwise, today is uneventful. Completed my walk and piano. So far, it's been mildly productive. And then in 2025, a year later, I filmed a vlog and hair video, sent Edward to Western, ate K-barbecue, talked about going back to school. So that was in my previous video. As you can see, the days between last year, September 2nd, and this year, September 2nd, are way different. And it's just so cool to see where I am in my life and what I'm doing every day. I really think that journaling is such a great way to document your growth, not only in the past and what you did, but like your intrinsic development. And I think that it is like the best way to see how far you've come, because in this journal I was so depressed and sad and lost with life, but if I look at my journal now, it's like a lot happier. I feel like I've found more purpose, and to see that development over time is just such a cool thing. So I'll read something from August 21st, 2023. This was like 2 years ago, when I was still kind of in my phase of like being lost in life, and still trying to figure out who I am. So many things have happened since I last wrote, and it's only been 2 days. Saturday night was a blast. Erica and I met up with blank, blank, and blank to go to AM/PM, and the music was really great. We ended up getting 2 cocktails and 2 shots, but didn't get tipsy at all. But otherwise, it was good, so nice to have girlfriends. And Saturday, we went to Kensington Market. I honestly hate it there with the piss and weed song environment. I don't like the people there either because it's very disorganized with a bunch of weirdos and with bad hygiene. Anyway, I was on LinkedIn and came across an urge to type in people I knew before to see what they're up to in life, and then I just wrote about like all my friends in high school, like doing their PhDs in law school and whatever, and me feeling as if I'm behind. And that is a sentiment I had for a very long time until I realized that like everyone just goes at life in their own pace, and it's nothing to be ashamed of for like not knowing what you're gonna do for a while, even though you have to figure it out eventually. I just think that like I was really harsh on myself back then, and I had so many expectations to be like other people, but at the end of the day, like you should just stop comparing yourself to other people because it's so detrimental to your own growth. And to be honest, like ever since I started vlogging and making videos, I've been writing a little bit less just because I feel like me being on camera is already kind of documenting my life, but at the same time, it's really not the same because I'm speaking to an audience, even if it's a small one. And when you're in your journal, you write to yourself. So I'm trying to do both, but I get lazy sometimes. I also have this cool thing I haven't used yet, and it's this reader's journal that I got too. So as you can see, I'm all about journaling. I love writing things, and this one's really pretty. It has like a lot of pictures, and it's still blank, but I want to get into this one. So it's for books, and you can write down like when you started reading a book, when you finished it, what you rate this book, character notes, favorite quotes, plot notes, other books to read by this author. And this is something that I want to get into, which is tracking down what I read, which I already do on Goodreads, but this is just like a way to physically keep it in check. And even though like I'm all for like writing things down online too, I think that paper is the best medium because I'm pretty old school in that regard. Like I don't like writing my journal entries online. I like having it pen and paper. So it's most accessible and easy to have a tangible object that you can look back on. So yeah, that was just my little sneak peek of my journal collection and snippets from my past life. So I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye.